She stood at the head of the table, smiling like a queen holding court, and I stood in the shadows, in a simple black dress, listening as my own mother told a room full of country club elites that I was a failure, that I was unemployed, that I'd never live up to my potential. She didn't know that in exactly 47 minutes, a young woman would walk up to me, call me Your Honor, and expose the truth to everyone who'd ever doubted me. And when the silence fell across that wedding reception, I didn't gloat. I just smiled and finally let the world see who I really was. If you've ever been underestimated, if you've ever been called not good enough by the people who should have believed in you the most, then this story is for you. Like this video, subscribe, and in the comments tell me, have you ever stayed silent while someone wrote you off? Because what happened next wasn't revenge. It was revelation. Let me take you back to that engagement party. The kind of event where wealth isn't just displayed, it's breathed. Crystal chandeliers, champagne flutes clinking, laughter that sounds like money. And there, at the center of it all, my mother, Margaret Hayes, holding court like she'd just won a Nobel Prize in social climbing. I stood in the doorway, watching. My cousin Sarah's engagement party. She was radiant, engaged to a man who adored her, building a life. And me? I was the family ghost. The cautionary tale whispered over hors d'oeuvres. She's been unemployed for months now, Mom said, voice dripping with that fake concern she perfected. I keep telling her she needs to be more realistic. Mrs. Whitman, the bank president's wife, leaned in. What kind of work is she looking for? Mom laughed. Not a kind laugh. Oh, you know Christina. She's always had these grand ideas about herself. Thinks she's too good for normal jobs. But she doesn't have the qualifications for anything important. Typical, she added, waving her hand. Shooting for the moon when she should be looking at the ground. I adjusted my black dress, simple, understated, and stayed in the shadows. 3 months. 3 months since I'd taken a sabbatical from the bench. 3 months of being treated like a disappointment, while I quietly considered a federal appointment. And Mom? She'd turned my leave of absence into a public narrative. Christina's fallen. She's lost. She's ordinary. She even brought up David, my ex. Oh, that ended ages ago, she said with satisfaction. He was far too accomplished for her. Senior partner at his firm. He realized Christina just wasn't substantial enough. The truth? David left because he couldn't handle dating a woman who outranked him. Hard to feel like the big shot when your girlfriend can send you to prison. Then Sarah appeared beside me, champagne in hand. Aunt Margaret's really going for it tonight, she whispered. You'd think you were a serial killer, not just between jobs. I smiled. Let her have her fun. It's not fun, Sarah said. It's cruel. Why don't you just tell them about your job? Not tonight, I said. This is your party. My party would be better if my favorite cousin wasn't being humiliated by my aunt. By dessert, she was detailing my lack of ambition, my childhood bedroom comeback, and how I was still living like I'm fresh out of college. I blame myself, she sighed. We coddled her, made her think she was special when she was just average. Average grades, average college, average everything. But she acts like she's destined for greatness. It's almost delusional. I felt something cold settle in my chest. Not hurt, not anymore. Something harder, sharper, like steel forming in my spine. 2 weeks later, Sarah called. I want you as my maid of honor. Are you sure? I asked. Your mother might have other ideas. My mother can stuff it, Sarah said. You're my favorite person. And maybe by then, you'll finally tell everyone the truth. Maybe, I said. But I wasn't planning to tell them. I was planning to show them. The wedding day arrived. White roses. Soft light. Sarah glowing in her grandmother's lace dress. I stood beside her as she married Tom, a man who looked at her like she'd hung the stars. At the reception, the same crowd had returned, plus Tom's family. And once again, Mom launched into her narrative. Christina's been looking for work for 6 months now. She doesn't really have the background for anything specialized. She's finally realized She needs to start at the bottom. I caught Sarah's eye. She was furious. Then she came. A young woman in a navy dress. Nervous. Excuse me, are you Christina Hayes? Yes. I'm Amanda Chen. I'm a law clerk at the state courthouse. She took a breath. I wanted to thank you personally. The ruling you made in the Henderson custody case last month, it saved that little girl's life. My sister works for child services. She said, you are the first judge who really listened to the evidence. The table fell silent. Amanda kept going, unaware of the bomb she'd just dropped. I'm applying for law school next year. Your scholarship program for first-gen students is helping me pay for LSAT prep. It means everything to families like mine.
She paused.
I just wanted to say thank you, Your Honor. Silence.
Thick.
Electric. Finally, Tom's mother whispered, Your Honor? I turned to my mother. She was staring at me like she'd never seen me before. Judge Christina Hayes, I said quietly. Superior Court Family Division. 18 years on the bench. Youngest ever appointed in this county. I took a sabbatical. 6 months. To consider a federal appointment. I go back to work next month. Federal appointment? Tom's father leaned forward. The U.S. Court of Appeals. 9th Circuit. The president nominated me in December. The table erupted, Tom's family congratulating me. My family? Frozen. Speechless. Sarah appeared behind me, grinning. I tried to tell you all she had a good job, she said innocently. But you never ask. Later, Mom found me in the bathroom. Why didn't you tell us? She whispered. Because you never asked what I actually did, I said. You just assumed I was a failure and built your whole story around it. But at the engagement party, when Mrs. Whitman said, and you laughed, I finished. You agreed. You mocked me for applying to a government job and not getting an interview. Tears filled her eyes. I didn't know. You didn't want to know, I said. You wanted me to be the disappointment so you could be the wise mother who tried her best. Having a successful daughter made you feel like you'd missed out. But a failed daughter? That made you feel superior.
She cried.
I'm sorry. What's the federal appointment? She asked. Circuit judge, I said. If confirmed, I'll hear appeals for 9 Western states. Constitutional law. Civil rights. Federal crimes. That's incredibly important. Yes, I said. It is. We stood there, decades of silence between us. Can we start over? I don't know, I said honestly. We'll see. Back at the reception, Amanda found me again. I hope I didn't cause any problems. You didn't, I said. You just revealed what was already there. Sarah joined me on the terrace. How does it feel to finally let the cat out of the bag? Like I can breathe again. Good, she said. You've been holding your breath for too long. And when you're sworn in, she added, I want a front row seat. And I want to bring Aunt Margaret. I want her to see you in your robes. She'll probably find something to criticize. Let her try, Sarah said. You'll be a federal judge. She collects charity auction donations. We laughed. And in that moment I realized, the best revenge isn't making someone eat their words. It's becoming so undeniably you that their words no longer matter. A month later, Mom came to my chambers. For the first time, she looked small, hesitant. She handed me a newspaper clipping, my federal nomination, featured on the society page. I've been reading about your cases, she said. You've done amazing work. It's my job, I said. It's more than a job, she whispered. It's a calling. We talked. Not a full reconciliation, but a start. Because some victories aren't loud. They're quiet. They're measured in years of dedication. In the lives you change without fanfare. In the moment someone finally sees you, not as their narrative, but as your truth. I am Christina Hayes. I am 43. I am a judge. And I am exactly who I've always been. Just finally ready to let the world see it. If you've ever been told you're not enough, know this. Your worth isn't decided by their opinions. It's proven by your persistence. Like this video.
Subscribe.
And in the comments, tell me, What's one truth about you that no one in your family knows? Because your story deserves to be heard.